That's come here and left and been successful. They said two things. They said they were treated like family, first off, and that's been without pause. Everyone has said we were treated like family, and that makes me feel good because I know my staff are doing their job. Cool. And the other thing is I found the Lord while I was here. So those are the two things. You have to be accepted. You have to be accepted first and foremost, and then the Lord has to play a part.
Awesome. All right. Hey everyone, this is Kevin again, and this time I'm with Billy Smith. He is the CEO of Buckhorn Children and Family Services, actually. And I'd like to introduce him. And Billy, can you give me some an introduction to you and a little bit of a background story of you?
Yes, my name's Billy Smith. I'm CEO of Buckhorn Children and Family Services. Been with the agency about 25 years now. Started really young, actually. I've been around the agency since I was 15 years old. My mother and father started doing foster care through Buckhorn's program, and I became involved like that. And as I finished school and got into college, I thought social work's what I want to do, and I've been with Buckhorn pretty much ever since, and held several positions throughout the agency.
So you have a degree in social
work,
and you came back to Buckhorn basically, and that's the question everybody want to know why. Why would you come way back out in the boonies, as they would say?
Well, I actually never left Buckhorn. I worked for Buckhorn Children and Family Services the whole time I was going to school.
Okay.
So I continued my education on site here in Buckhorn and attended Morehead State University.
Okay.
But as far as staying here, this is home. This is where I want to be. This is where my heart is.
You're born
and the people that I love.
All right. Well, can you tell us about the facility that we're at right now and what this is? And I can kind of show it to you.
Yes.
Kind of give you I hope we can get some lighting, but yeah, this is what the facility. Can you describe what this is?
Yes, this is Midway Recovery House. It's a men's addiction recovery. We do levels 3.5 and 3.1 here, which basically stabilizes men that are looking for recovery. We help transition them into another program later on, but they'll spend roughly 2 to 3 months here in this facility.
Okay.
In kind of their beginning of their recovery journey.
It's a rehab center, basically.
Yes, sir.
And is both drug and alcohol?
Yes, sir. Drugs and alcohol.
Okay. And can you explain what 3.5 means for that non?
Yeah, well, 3.5 and 3.1 is basically for licensing and insurance purposes. 3.5 is mostly when folks first come into treatment, and that's for billing purposes, and then after about a month.
So that's an insurance code. Then
yes,
yes. Okay.
And licensing.
Okay, great. And so how many residents do you have right now?
We have a 12-bed single room occupancy facility. I think right now we have 8 clients in this facility, so we have some open beds. Anyone out there looking for treatment, we're open to helping you.
And my understanding, it is volunteer.
It is voluntarily primarily. We do have some court-appointed folks, but the majority of our clients are voluntarily here.
Okay.
Yes.
So great. And if later on we might get to interview some of the residents when they feel more comfortable and whatnot, but great. Sure. And you have other facilities, right? But we can go to them, and we can also discuss. We're not going to be at Desi Scott because that's an hour. Can you kind of explain Desi Scott?
Yes, our Desi Scott campus is located on Pine Ridge in Wolfe County, just a few minutes outside of Campton, Kentucky. And on that campus we house autistic boys from the ages of 12 to 21, and they're at varying levels of needs. They're all intellectually disabled or physically disabled, and they will from one end of the spectrum to the other. Some will need help bathing, eating, moving from place to place, and others not so much. So from one end of the spectrum to the other, and we provide all of their needs. They're on-site residential care with a nurse, a clinician on staff 24/7.
Okay. Okay, so I'm right. Okay.
And this our partnership with Stable Recovery, which will be in this facility here, Redwood Cottage, will allow clients to stay in recovery through transitional living for probably an additional year. And with this program, they will be doing an equine therapy program. Clients will be learning to groom the horses, feed the horses, anything related to horse care.
So the stables are behind you?
Yes, they will be behind us here. And once they complete that program, they will get a certificate, and Stable Recovery will work to place them in jobs in the horse industry anywhere in the state of Kentucky.
And as I'm understanding, the horse industry is pretty big in Kentucky.
Pretty big in Kentucky. A lot of good jobs out there.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if horses are not your thing, they will work with you to help get you placed in a job that you are interested in. It doesn't have to be horses.
Okay, let's go into the look.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is awesome. So you, all right.
But yeah, this is very similar to the other cottages. Layout's the same.
Right. Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
And then, so each resident has will have its own bed, or bedroom actually, which is cool. Yeah. Oh, wow. Now.
And they're still in the process of getting everything set up. They plan by Friday to be ready to start accepting clients in this facility.
Okay, so you're really like now.
Yeah.
You have.
By Friday, we hope they will be assigning clients to this facility, and hope to see it grow fairly fast. And think it will. I mean, it's going to be a great program. Also, while clients are in this facility in the transitional living program, we will provide intensive outpatient services through our outpatient office, as well as case management.
So you were going to follow them throughout then?
Throughout, yes, sir.
Man, this is...
Yes, sir.
Wow. This is really, really... I mean, I'm just... this is like the whole facility, but having that recovery with the horses, that's really unique. Yes,
and these will be thoroughbred horses, you know, top of the line horses that require care. You know, I'll admit I'm not exactly a horse person, but these people are, and they know their business. So, you know, there's a lot more goes into taking care of a thoroughbred horse than a horse that's just in the pasture at mom and dad's or something. So, our folks are going to be learning that from people that are knowledgeable and have the know-how. And
I'm going to ask you a question. How did you come up with this idea to doing this? So what started this?
Well, I actually met Christian a little over a year ago, and Christian is CEO of Stable Recovery. And I think he saw in us what we saw in him. We saw two programs that were trying to do things the right way, and we saw an opportunity to form a partnership. Buckhorn with the opportunity to provide additional care to keep people in recovery longer, to give them a better chance of success. It gave Stable Recovery an opportunity to expand from the Lexington area back into eastern Kentucky. So we liked the way each other was doing business. We saw the opportunity to do a partnership and hopefully help quite a few people, which I think we will. It was kind of seemed like a match made in heaven.
Man, that is awesome. Then putting two programs together and work and expand both of them, man.
Well,
to do the recovery unit.
We both have the same goals, so it seemed like I said, it was a no-brainer for us. And,
so you noticed that there's a lot of drug addiction, and is it? I know in the big cities you hear about it too, but. And I was just talking. We have a new church from Dallas. They were kind of shocked that there's that much drugs, in the rural area in Kentucky. Well, what would be the biggest? Is it fentanyl or meth, or is it
meth? Opioids are big. Unfortunately, the drug problem is across the country, across the world, pretty much. And most families have been affected in one way or another by drug addiction at this point. I know I've lost several family members and friends over the years.
Oh yeah, I have family members that are,
it's a terrible disease. It really is. And, we have the opportunity to help people, and that's what we want to do, and whatever it takes to do that, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
So I think, in this area, the lack of opportunity plays a big part. There's not a lot of jobs in the area, as you stated. We are very rural, and as people don't have the opportunities maybe they do in some other places. But then you look at some of the bigger cities, and where there's plenty of opportunity, and they're battling addiction too. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Drugs are a problem no matter where it's.
That's what I'm finding, and it's everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's rural, suburban, and it's bad. Even in where we live at, outside of Atlanta, it's gotten a hold of a lot of families, and they're seeing it too. So I'm glad you're doing it. I mean, this is a great project for somebody to donate or help out one way or the other.
Absolutely. We encourage everyone to get involved. We have many opportunities to volunteer, donate, however you want to be a part of this. And as you heard me say yesterday, we don't want Buckhorn to be a secret.
Right.
We want the world to know about Buckhorn because there's a lot of good happening here, and there's going to continue to be a lot of good.
Great. Nice. You can go to the next one.
Okay. Rules. They were doing what they needed to do, so you wanted to take every advantage, give them every advantage to be successful.
Right. If their insurance runs out, it's kind of like, really? And the insurance wants to, I get it. My wife works in insurance.
Yeah.
They try to get us by paying out as least as possible.
Unfortunately,
and I know it. I get it.
Everyone I've talked to that's gone through recovery and had experience in that has said, you need at least 8-9 months.
Oh God, yeah.
So
at
that's
minimum.
what we want to give people. If we bring you in here, you're with us for 2 months, and you go back out, and you have to come back a month later, 2 months later.
I've done some studies when I was in college about addiction, and it said you had to have a good 12 months of being clean to say that, hey, I can really make it.
Yeah.
Not just say, okay, I can, but it takes that, and then it's a lifelong, you need lifelong support.
The battle never ends. But I think a year is what we're aiming for here,
Great.
People, I mean, we have some clients come back, and we welcome them back if they need help. But in my mind, is it best to keep them here for a year to begin with, get them truly clean and sober,
and then support them.
Yes.
As a support system after.
Exactly.
I mean, I agree, because it doesn't do any good to let them out and then all of a sudden they go right back.
Yes.
You go 1 step forward and 2 step back, and it's like, you're talking about family member. We have all of us. You said. I mean, I have a close family member that's I haven't seen him in years because he's been such a, alcoholic, and he can't function hardly.
Yeah, and alcohol is tough. It's tough to come down off of alcoholism, and it's one of the tougher ones that we deal with.
We got somebody in our wish he could have come, but his wife did. But he's a recovering alcoholic, and he would have been. And he's doing, by the way, that's what now he does that it's part of our mission at locally. Yeah. Okay, so we're thinking, you know what, we could do this part of our local, what you're not necessarily full-blown rehab center, but having an outreach program for people.
Yeah. And I think it's all important. We have different churches that come in and do services with our clients.
Yeah.
And of course, that's not anything that we force our clients to attend. It's voluntary. But every person that's come here and left and been successful, they said 2 things. They've said they were treated like family, first off, and that's been without pause. Everyone has said we were treated like family, and that makes me feel good because I know my staff are doing their job. Cool. And the other thing is, I found the Lord while I was here. So those are the 2 things. You have to be accepted. You have to be accepted first and foremost, and then the Lord has to play a part.
Awesome. You can do it right here. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and start. We're recording.
All right. This is Roger's Recovery House. This is our women's facility, another 12-bed facility, single-room occupancy for women battling addiction. Again, similar to Midway Recovery, they came in at level 3.5, and about a month they'll drop down to 3.1. And as I stated before, from that point they'll transition into stable recovery as we build a women's program, hopefully here in the future, for transitional living.
Cool. We want to go and check it out
and look around.
We can see what everybody's doing, or what's the facilities like.
We have some folks in here already.
Yeah.
Looks like some of your crew.
Yeah.
How are y'all?
Hello, ladies.
So,
Hi, Vicky.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Kevin.
I saw you yesterday. I
I
had a chance
know.
to speak to you.
Good to see you.
We're doing a little filming. Kevin's
Oh.
doing a few interviews.
2017. We'll nominate you to be our spokesperson.
Well, but the women, this is only the third year for the women.
right. That's-
Before it was the girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
You know, just
And that's what I was telling them earlier. This is we're still learning in the
Yeah,
Dixie
no,
world.
exactly.
And this is, I think this August will be 3 years that the women's program's been open.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
We've heard really good feedback too.
A lot of good
Yeah.
feedback.
Really good
Oh, well.
feedback
Especially
from the participants.
Yes.
yeah, and that's what
Ladies coming from other places they did not like versus this place, which
Well, I
is
told-
definitely
That's-
faith-based.
That's affirmation for
Yes,
sure for
absolutely.
you.
And that's what I was
I didn't
telling
realize.
Kelvin before we came in. Two things I hear from everyone that goes through our program and completes it is, I was treated like family. That's the first thing you say. And somewhere along the way, the Lord will play a part.
Right.
They'll say, I found the Lord while I was here. And of course, we have different churches come in and do programs and all that, all voluntary area churches.
Right.
And it's not something we force on our clients, but it's there when they want it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And, you know, if they're not ready to attend, they don't have to. But when they're ready to come forward and accept that, they generally do. And the ones that have been successful, that's the two things I hear.
Right.
I was treated like family, and I found the Lord.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think
Yep.
Success.
from my experience so far, those two things are crucial.
Hey, and those are
Those
two,
two things
yep,
are crucial.
two most important
so
things.
tell about this facility in specific then.
This
Yeah,
is,
versus the men's. I mean, what differences? I mean, I don't see
well,
much
it's
difference.
basically the same programs.
Okay.
This is the women's program, and then the men's program is up the road.
So it's
Midway.
basically the same facility, same rehab,
facility,
the
same layout
program.
even. I think
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
just
it is.
kinda
I know,
reversed layout.
But it's a little bit different color, which
Yeah, we got a few
Older
changes.
facility.
yeah. So I do have a question though, and this is more about the overall program. So what? And I always ask somebody like this: is that what would be your biggest challenge for? You got two different programs. So like for the recovery, what is your biggest challenge for the recovery?
Well, I think early on, and probably still, the biggest challenge is getting the word out that we're here. You know, we were primarily a child care facility for 120 years. And, you know, we got to do a better job of getting the word out that we are now
Right.
doing addiction recovery and that there's opportunities here in Buckhorn and for folks in the surrounding communities, surrounding counties that maybe don't want to go further from home. This facility is here to help those people. And
Okay. And what would be your biggest challenge for the boys then, and then for them? What's the biggest challenge for that
For Desi
program?
Scott
Yeah, for
program.
Desi Scott.
Well, I think it's, since COVID, really, and even before COVID, staffing has been an issue. It's always a challenge finding enough people to work and being able to serve more kids. We have cottages that we could fill up with clients that need our help, but we have to have the staff to be able to provide that care and to find the quality of staff that you know we demand to give care for our clients.
So you also do foster care. So what was some of the biggest challenges for foster care?
Well, recruitment again is finding foster parents that have the time, the opportunity, the availability to bring kids into their home, give them a loving home. As I mentioned to you earlier, my mom and dad started doing foster care through Buckhorn when I was 15 years old. I was an only child up to that point, and I gained several brothers thanks to Buckhorn's program, and you know, it was really life-changing for me, and a big reason why I'm continued to work with Buckhorn and here today.
Cool. So I guess next one would be interviewing the staff. The staff up there in Desi Scott. I mean, I would like to have anybody you can recommend. I can go and because as you know, we can't interview the boys, but I'd love to have somebody kind of give you that kind of same spiel, but on a staff level, what you just did.
Yeah, we can sit down.
You know, yeah, more relaxing. So
Okay.
I could sit down, I guess.
Why, yes. Pull you up a chair.
Yeah,
Make yourself
we
at
can
home.
Make it more fun. So, all right, guys, this is Kevin again, and I'm here with Patty. With are you a director or what is your title?
I'm Chief Operations Officer,
Chief
plus I do human resources for the agency.
Okay. So, what is your full name? And give me a little bit of a background story of you. And
Okay. My name's Patty Wilder. I've been with the agency here for 33 years. Actually started as an administrative assistant in the main office and started working more in human resources and did that for quite a while, and then eventually got moved up to Chief Operations Officer.
Okay. So so what is your what do you do for day to day? I know what Billy is trying to do, but what do you actually do for it? Since as an operating officer, most companies are in charge of mainly operations and making sure that everything's running. I'm assuming that's the same here.
Yes, I work between both offices. So I'm at Buckhorn some days. I'm down here at Desi Scott some days.
So do you live up here or do you live in Buckhorn?
I live in Breathitt County, so I'm kind of in the middle of the two.
Okay. Man, it's still a long commute.
Yeah,
Well,
it's about the same distance between both
Right.
campuses.
So do you I guess the day-to-day kind of stuff and some of the challenges that you face, I'm kind of interested in.
One of the big challenges we face is staffing, finding the correct and amount of staff we need to help us take care of our
Right.
clients. So that's always been a challenge.
And what do you right now? How many boys? I just want to reiterate. How many boys do you have right now?
Right now, we've got 17 boys on the Desi Scott campus,
Okay.
but we can actually take up to 24 boys.
All right.
So we've got some new ones that are scheduled to come in the next few weeks, and we're working towards getting that number 24. And I'm also
Right.
working on getting staff in place too, so that when we are
And-
full with boys, we have the right amount of staff to work with them.
Okay. So staffing's another issue. Do you all while we're here as mission service here, do you interact with anybody from mission service oversight?
Absolutely. I sneak out of my office and run
Do you-
away, and I get to see Lance and Steve and
Yep.
Courtney and several of the other workers, and it's just a joy.
You love them? Yeah,
Yes.
they're great. Yeah, I like. It's been a joy up here all the time, and I like I said, I was telling you, I worked the building over in the north. We stayed over the north south campus and that one over there. So we've been. So we've been staying here. Been up here for the last 7 years or so. I've been up here almost every time, doing roofs, doing flooring, doing this now. You name it. You know, and I'm assuming it seems like it's a big help. I know I've seen the big change
It is
already
a big
since
help.
I've noticed. When I first came here, the rooms weren't all that great, and the roofs were bad. Bad. So I'm just, what is your take about actually another thing, what is your take on what's happening, what has happened, and where you're going in the future with that?
Well, Mission Serve has enabled us, like you said, to have better living conditions for our clients and in our offices because, being a nonprofit,
Yeah.
you don't have enough workers to do everything that needs to do and, the funding. But thanks to generous donations, from individuals in the year, we've been able to do projects, each year to improve our facilities and stuff. So it's been really exciting, and I'm tickled to death with the progress that's been made, and our boys are loving it. Staff are very appreciative of it because we just want what's best for staff and kids.
Right.
This is the highlight of the kids' years.
I've met you before, so I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Kevin, but you're David, right?
Yeah.
And you've been.
Been here too long.
Yeah. So you worked with the boys too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I remember more. I remember some of the boys calling you Pop or whatever.
Yep.
They
This
still
is
do.
Papa.
Yeah, that's all I ever get called.
Papa has stepped into a new role with the agency. He is actually the campus director down here now.
Okay.
So
You can tell me about some of that.
he's responsible for all the staff and all the kids down here. But he and I work hand in hand. I'm available to him whenever he has questions. And
So as you also as human resources, you have to file both Buckhorn and Desi Scott. So you've got how many employees do you have then?
all together, agency wide, we've got 97 employees right now.
Okay, so that's not a small organization anymore.
And we're spread throughout Somerset and Corbin and
Right.
yeah. So
So you're actually all over the place.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I just see the two locations. You don't think about the other stuff. That I noticed that you do the with the children with the foster care and some
Yes.
other stuff you have to do.
mhm.
Yeah.
So no 2 days are the same for us.
Wow. Okay. So what's the you're doing the challenges? What's the highlights that you have? I would say.
Now this is where you're going to make me cry. Watching the joy on these boys' face and knowing that we're making a difference.
Okay. Great.
That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, to be here that long.
Yeah.
I've noticed that there's some long-time personnel here too, so that's really great. You know, and the boy's face when you hear him sing, it's awesome. You know.
Dave sends me pictures from activities and stuff, and when I just see those smiles, it just makes my day.
Great. Yeah, I'm just like I said, it's gonna be just a quick, short meeting. If you could show me around, I'm gonna have Dave. If you can kind of what we did. So Billy just showed me some of the cabins. We don't have. Yeah. Okay, we got everything.
You can see.
A lot of construction.
Yeah. Now this is the side that they've actually, they'll be here next week to put all the cabinets and all that in,
Okay.
and the furniture. But as you can see, it's still pretty much a work in progress.
Yeah. And you have how many cabins for the boys? Right now you have one full one, but you have how many total for you?
Well, now we've got 2 open right now,
Yeah.
but we've got these 2 up here too.
Right.
Which the kids, once these is completed, they'll be moving back up here to the new
Okay.
cottages.
Right.
But you know, if we had the people to man it, we could open up 2 more cottages.
And how many total would that be?
That would be 48 kids.
So you can actually hopefully one day get 48
Get 48
kids.
kids back here.
And that would be awesome then.
Mm-hmm.
So this is some
This is West Cottage.
Yep, west and north and south. I know.
Yeah, and now the one we just came through is east.
East, yeah. And then
Let's see, we can walk back and see what they have got done in the rooms.
you do that.
All this is new,
Yep.
and they put it in the rooms. So
That's that kind of not, it's kind of like a reinforcement. Isn't it? Yeah.
well, in this
Texture.
it's so easy cleaned. Nothing.
Yeah.
Instead of like drywall or whatever. So.
Yeah. I mean, they all look alike. I remember doing a flooring and one. He said it looks identical. I mean, it was that one over there.
Now, and they redone the floor, which you can't. It's hard to tell right now.
Howdy.
So we're working on. What are we working on? What's Mission Surf working on up here? I can't remember. I know we're doing a lot down there.
Well, now part of them is over there behind the school, working on that shelter.
Okay.
They're staining it. They took the swings down and the picnic tables and all that.
Okay.
And then they're going to actually into the school tomorrow, and it's got an old upstairs in it.
Yeah.
And they're going to completely clean it out.
Okay. I know we were supposed to work on the chapel, but people got.
Well,
we had the wrong crew in the
Yeah.
wrong place. That's what happened. But it is. That's what Billy said. It'll work out eventually.
This is Mr. Russ. He
Yeah,
keeps
Russ.
everything together.
How are you?
Yeah. So I noticed that you also have your barn. That's where you keep all your equipment and stuff. Your tools and stuff are downstairs.
Yeah, over in the maintenance garage.
Yeah, the maintenance garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the stuff I remember putting in.
Yeah.
And all this.
And this used to be a room by itself. They knocked the wall down.
Yeah. Y'all change it every year, it looks like. Every time I come up here,
Something different.
Okay. And see, that's the gymnasium and the maintenance barn down there. Okay. Yep. And this is awesome.
And
I always ask somebody the challenges and highlights. So what would be your biggest challenge at your position?
Well, I've worked actually most of the time I was in the cottage working with the kids. And that was about the extent of it. But in this new role, it's just, you're overwhelmed with questions every day.
Okay.
Every day. And you've got to try to find out a good solution to all of them, which I've got, Patty. Patty's a big help.
Yep.
But anything I can't figure out, she's there to, she's always there to help.
And what's some of the highlights that you have then?
The kids themselves. Just seeing a kid come in here that's, had a rough life, not much of a life at all. And by the time they leave, they can do things, they can understand things a whole lot better.
Yep.
And they can go on and live, somewhat normal life.
Awesome.
And, which I still get calls from kids that was here 15, 20 years ago, telling us, that if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have made it.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's a unique organization, which I'll do with with the children and then with the recovery now.
Mm-hmm.
I like it with you're able to survive through a lot of ups and downs with COVID and the state changing its laws and
and
that's always a challenge, and I'm sure it feels like you're being but yeah, this is
it feels like you're just you're being left out of a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Things that we think the kids should get or be able to do,
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate your time and everything. And,
you're very welcome.
I know you're all busy, but like I said, we're trying to get this promoted out and get it out to people who can feel it. And maybe I was telling Billy, you never know who you're gonna touch, and they might.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're always needing help.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I was always saying sometimes a lot of times you need more volunteers, and then you do need money, because sometimes the volunteers are worth. You can't measure that worth when someone comes up and does everything.